All set.
Ah, there's the message.
Yeah, it's new.
We got another minute. We'll go ahead and start this thing. All right, I'm showing 7 o'clock. I'd like to call to order this meeting of the Town of Ledyard Inland Wetlands Watercourse Commission of June 1st, 2021, time 7 p.m. Secretary, please call the roll.
Justin DeBro,
Present.
Paul Mogul,
Here, present.
Dan Peeler. I know I saw him.
I saw his name on here.
Yeah, me too. Lynn Marie Thompson,
Here.
Beth Reeby is absent excused. Glenn Grebner. Corey Watford. Tony Capon.
I'm here.
Kyle Felice WEO.
Here.
Did we get Dan? Is he still with us?
I see his name.
All right, hey Dan, if you can hear us, can you please respond? He'll probably start talking and call him. We'll just call him late when he comes in.
Okay.
All right. First, moving on from there. Next section is for public comments. Invite anybody from the public here that like to make a comment on anything to do with inland wetlands water courses here in the town of Ledyard. So just please identify yourself and your address. Hearing none, move on to old business. We have one item. It is application IWWC 21-10 for 170 Gallup Hill Road in Ledyard. The owner of Alex Duczynski for the installation of a new driveway with a culvert pipe for a new single-family home. And we received this application at our last meeting, and we did determine that it was a not significant impact. Mr. Duczynski, I saw you on here. If you'd just like to refresh us here and any other information, you have it.
Good evening. Nothing new to add. Just creating a new driveway for single family home, looking to add about 25 linear feet of 15-inch pipe to provide proper drainage at the base of the driveway.
Right. And, what kind of environmental controls did you have for this?
Silt fence around the perimeter of the work zone.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions or comments from our members? I am hearing none. So, Mr. Felice, do you have a memo regarding this?
I do, Mr. Chairman. It's suggested motion if the commission feels like they want to approve this. But other than that, there's no changes.
Okay, and no other comments from our staff?
No comments. The applicant has made no changes, and he clarified today that it'll be silt fence for erosion control. So no additional changes.
Okay. So if I'm hearing no other questions or comments, I'll be looking for a motion.
Just one moment, Justin. Unfortunately, Zoom freaked out on me and I had to load back in. Dan Peeler is here.
Thank you, Dan.
My apologies.
Arriving at time 7:04.
Well, I was here before. It's just Zoom freaked out on me.
No, I understand. We need to get that on the record for you, Dan.
Okay.
All right. So looking for the motion to approve or disapprove this. Mr. Felice did provide in his memo a suggested motion. If anybody would like to use that or present their own.
I have to refrain from this one because I couldn't hear the beginning of it.
And Justin, I was not here when this was heard at the previous meeting, so I can vote. This is Lynn Marie. I can vote right, but I wouldn't want to make the motion.
Okay. Mr. Mogul, would you like to make a motion?
I'll move that we approve this IWWC application 21-10 with all the associated drawings and memos from the WEO and others. And so we approve it this evening, June 1st.
All right, and I'll need a second.
Am I able to second that, Justin?
Yes.
Okay, so second by Thompson.
All right, second by Thompson. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All are in favor. Motion passes. Application is approved. Thank you, Mr. Duczynski.
Thank you all very much.
Have a good night.
You as well.
Moving on to new business, we have two applications before us tonight. Just address these one at a time, even though they're both for the same project. The first application is IWWC 21-11, an determination for, 1025 Colonel Ledyard Highway. The owner is the town of Ledyard, with the applicant being our Parks and Rec department. And that is for a 6-foot wide aluminum trail bridge placed on his existing historical abutments. Mr. Johnson?
Are you muted? He's muted.
You're unmuted.
Oh, sorry. I think I'd have it down by now. We've been doing this for a year. So you guys should have like the map. The plans you guys have for the bridge are just an example of plans for the bridge that would be built. I believe the span that's looking to be built is a 16 to 20 foot long, 6 foot wide. This is plans from the company that we're going to get the bridge from, but they won't give you the specific plans for that bridge and the engineering stamp until you buy the bridge. And the Tri-Town Trail doesn't want to buy the bridge until they know that, the application would get approved, if that's what would be the holdup. They just, want kind of an idea if the application would go through or not before purchasing the bridge and actually getting the plans that come with it, knowing that it might get tabled to the next meeting if it doesn't have the plans with the engineered stamp on it. But I believe you guys have visited this location. This is the historic crossing that was found. So there is existing stone abutments there already, and the bridge would simply lay across it. They wouldn't have to bring anything in, build the area up or anything. It would simply be an aluminum bridge that would lay across. It'll all be prefabricated and just have to be assembled on site. Comes as a kit.
What's the span of that? Not the bridge, but the crossing.
That I don't know off the top of my head.
What was the question again? Maybe I can answer it.
Do you know the span of the crossing, Karen?
The span is 8 feet right now. The water flow is 8 feet.
Okay.
All right, so we're looking at about
You look at the
6 foot of bridge supported on each side.
The bridge, the bridge will be sitting on the banks about 4 feet from each, 4 to 6 feet from each abutment, and those are going to be about 2 feet. The banks are about 2 feet taller than the abutments. So it will lie on the ground and will not impede water flow. It will not require addition of fill. It's a very environmentally benign installation.
So the question that I have is, when I was looking at the application, did I see mention of an ATV? This is the one that's crossing Joe Clark Brook, right?
Right, yes.
Did I see
so
mention of
it's
an ATV?
Yep, so it's a aluminum ATV bridge. So the bridge will be wide
Oh.
enough and have the load bearing capacity to be able to cross the ATV over the Joe Clark Brook, which will be the fire department's looking forward to that. So it'll give them access back to the power lines if there's ever an emergency.
Okay, but this is not for recreational ATV use.
No,
No,
so
it's for,
it
it's
would be
for
used
the
for
fire
travel, but,
department's fire and rescue vehicle.
Okay,
yeah, most of the time it'll be used for foot traffic, but it will then be wide enough and have the load bearing capacity for the fire department ATV to get across if needed.
okay.
The fire department has requested this from us, that we, in cooperation with the fire department and the needs of the town, that we, for the Tri-Town Trail, we could do a 4-foot bridge for half the money, but we're trying to be proactive for the town and make it so the fire department, they were real concerned that they should be able to get across there with their rescue vehicle. And it has a 9,000-pound weight bearing, where the the fully loaded rescue UTV is only 6,000 pounds. So it'll be very good weight bearing, and it just sits there. It's a temporary bridge, and that's what these folks make for trail purposes throughout the U.S. Forest Service. And it's a temporary bridge. It's not a permanent structure because it has no permanent anchors. You're not putting duckbill anchors into it. It has some spikes you can put in to keep it, because it's wind sensitive, so you don't want it to blow in a hurricane. So you just anchor it with some spikes. And other than that, it just sits on the surface. It can be built by 4 men in a weekend. It comes in a kit. You pull it, put it together, aluminum. You purchase the plywood for the decking. We think the total cost, the kit is $7,000, and then we have to buy the plywood, and volunteers can assemble it. So it's our best solution to getting a crossing there at that historic crossing. And we're not putting any weight bearing on the existing colonial stones that are there, because we were advised that that would not be good. We don't want to use those for weight bearing.
Have you already shown the fire department this bridge?
Yes, and we have a letter of support for it.
I think my only concern just looking at this being an as of right determination, using this as the emergency crossing of the fire department takes it out of that's a use that's not recreational. I think that makes it a more emergency structure.
Isn't it still as of right because it's temporary?
It's more the use.
Mhm.
Like I understand all your crossings are temporary, which is part of the as of right.
And then there's another condition as of right with something, isn't there? Nothing before.
So majority of these would be recreational. It just would have the possibility to cross the ATV. Essentially, it's a dual purpose.
But you're not saying recreational ATV vehicles.
No,
You're saying
no.
recreational walking and
Yeah.
emergency ATVs.
Yeah.
Right.
So the bridge, the main purpose would be for, hikers to get across, but also we're going to get, instead of putting a 4-foot wide bridge, we're going to do a 6-foot to allow the ATV to cross over in case
Okay,
there's
to
a need.
allow emergency vehicles.
Emergency
to cross
ATV,
over.
yes. No
Okay, 'cause-
general public ATVs.
Right. Okay, we would need, I think we'd want to be real clear about that.
Yeah.
We've dealt with other issues around ATVs in Joe Clark Brook. And so we know that it's really important that we protect that.
And we will probably put some sort of a gate structure there so pedestrians can get through, but the fire department will have the key to open up to get their emergency vehicle. We have to come up with some sort of a structure
Okay,
so that recreational ATVs won't use it.
okay,
We really don't want recreational ATVs on the trail. The trail is a recreational trail and we want to maintain it that, and we don't want any ATVs. And this is really not an ATV of the fire department. It's a fire and rescue vehicle. It's not a UTV. It's a fire and rescue vehicle.
Oh, I'm familiar with what the fire department has that would be crossing it.
We would hope they wouldn't have to use it.
We
At all.
all have that hope.
The road that the fire and rescue vehicle will come down and use is really an old colonial cobble lane.
Yeah.
So it's not going to take an impact the environment or the brook.
So, Mr. Johnson.
Hmm?
Would you be willing to modify your description of the proposed activity to specify that it's an aluminum ATV bridge, that's going to be used for foot traffic with the possibility of emergency vehicle use?
Yeah.
So we can be more specific there.
So primary use for recreational hikers, and then with the ability to cross the emergency UTV.
Then further down in proposed activity, you said in accordance with section 4.2 letter A. It's actually for what we're talking is 4.3 letter C,
4.3 letters.
our regulations.
All right.
When you presented this to the fire department, did that include how it was anchored too?
Say that again, please.
So when you presented this to the fire department, did that include how it was anchored?
As
Yes, we've discussed it with them. One of our representatives on the Tri-Town Trail Board of Directors is a very active member in the Ledyard Fire Department and has interfaced with the head of the department in Ledyard Center on it and has presented the plans. They are in favor of this design and this unit. One of the benefits or beauties of the aluminum bridge that we're proposing is that it does not present a significant approach requirement. Therefore, it can lie on the ground and it will, the UTV, the fire and rescue unit can drive right up on it and across. The fire and rescue vehicle is 57 inches on the outside of the wheelbase. The bridge is a 72-inch bridge, so we have a slight access or clearance on each side. The bridge comes with handrails so that when you're walking across the bridge, the foot traffic, which is the primary use, you have the handrails for a bridge that is higher than 2 feet above the ground and water.
So Justin, can I just check? I looked, what's the date of the regulations that you're looking at where you get 4.3C?
I think it was January this year, the latest ones. 4.3C. I'm sorry, it might have been B. My apologies. 4.3B, outdoor recreation. Included, hiking was one of the items listed there.
Okay,
Sorry. I wrote the wrong note. I don't think I have any more comments. Yes, Ms. Thompson. Ms. Thompson, you're muted.
sorry. If the applicant is willing to make the change and specify the emergency vehicle, is that just a change on the application that he does like tonight and initials it? Is that how that's done?
And if we approve it, we'll say as amended.
Okay, okay. That'll be good then.
All right, Mr. Johnson, do you have the document in front of you or the application?
Yeah,
Are you able to read us an amended detailed description?
yeah. So let's see. So installation of a 16 to 20 foot long, 6 foot wide aluminum bridge to be used for both primarily for hiking with the ability to cross the ATV over the bridge to get across the Joe Clark Brook. Bridge will be placed across existing abutments that were part of a historical crossing. Bridge will be located on a recreational trail in accordance with section 4.3 letter B of the Ledyard Inland Wetlands and Watercourse Regulations.
Thank you.
This is Lynn Marie. We still don't have the emergency vehicle. So you put primarily for what, hiking or walking with the use of an emergency ATV or something that talks about that right before you use the term ATV.
Okay, so with the ability to cross an emergency ATV instead of ATV.
Or emergency services ATV.
Mm.
The fire department. Yeah.
Fire and rescue vehicle.
Technically, I think they call it a UTV, so that way it helps differentiate, ATV versus the fire department's vehicle.
All right. Do you have any further questions or comments on this as a right determination? I am hearing none. So with that, looking for a motion to approve or disapprove the as a right determination.
Let's see, how would that be worded?
Mr. Chairman, this is Colonel Ledyard. I just have a quick comment.
Sir.
So this isn't as a right determination. It's not a request for a permit. So basically you'll be making a motion, however you want to word it, that no permit is needed.
Oh, thank you.
Okay.
So you want me to give this a try, Justin?
Yes, please.
Okay, so I move that application IWWC 21-11 AR does not require permit as it is a right of use application.
So moved by Ms. Thompson. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Mogul. All in favor?
Aye.
All in favor? Motion passes. Thank you. All right, on to the second new application, which is IWC.
Hello?
I can hear you. I don't know if we lost Justin.
I think we lost Justin.
It looks like he's frozen.
Yes, indeed.
Just give him a second.
He just went away.
Yeah, he'll reboot.
He may be having the same problem I had when I was trying to join about half an hour ago. Should just require a reboot.
Washington. Yeah, it's been horrendous.
Yeah. Okay. Go. Are you muted?
No.
All right, we're still recording, everyone. We're just giving Justin a minute to hopefully log back in.
So I have a quick question for you all. How are you all able to look at the agenda and see the documents at the same time without printing the documents ahead of time?
I open a second link and I have two screens. So
Okay.
one screen I have y'all photos of y'all, and then the other screen I have I've opened a second link, and it allows me then to flip through the documents and see what's going on here. It seems like, for example, we're now talking about the 21-12 is AR instead of 21-11, but
Yeah.
this one is the longer bridge.
Okay. Okay. So you just click on, you just go into Zoom twice.
Yeah, I go into the actually Ledyard twice.
Oh, okay.
And then once I get to the page, I go right back to Ledyard, and then I really don't go into Zoom the second time. I just go into the Ledyard page and
Okay.
that document and the
Okay.
agenda packet, for example.
Yeah, I think if you open the agenda packet PDF, it gives you the agenda, I think, with all the attachments.
With all the attachments, correct. And then you can flip through that and then have the other folks on the other side.
Okay.
Just looking up
Okay.
here. Yeah.
Do we have Justin back yet?
It does look like we have Justin back.
I am back. My apologies for that. My battery died and kicked me off. So, all right. Did you guys just pause until I got back in?
No, we just the whole thing. No problem.
All right. So just pick up where I was leaving off. We have application IWC 21-12 AR for 1025 Colonel Ledyard Highway. The owner being the town of Ledyard, the applicant being the Ledyard Park and Rec Department. This one is for a 10-foot long stringer bridge located on a recreational trail, the same trail we were previously talking about. So, Mr. Johnson.
All right, yeah, so we put these in as two separate because we didn't know about the first application, if you guys were going to require the engineer plans to approve it. This should be the more straightforward of the two. This is just a 10-foot stringer bridge to cross a 6-foot wide. It's an unnamed tributary near the Spicer ruins. This will allow access to the new loop section of the trail. And this would simply be for hiking, no ATVs or anything special like that. Just your very generic stringer bridge. We probably want to amend this application though also to say accordance with section 4.3 letter B, because this one also says 4.2 letter A.
Yes, please.
Is this bridge wooden instead of aluminum?
Yeah, so this would be similar to the other crossings that they were putting in. This is just, we're starting a new section of the trail. So they have to cross this one unnamed tributary to allow for the access to the loop trail portion of the Clark Farm.
It seems to have a center support system. Would that be in the middle of the tributary?
Center
Look at
support.
the
I think
way
it
it
should.
is designed from your own drawing here. In the middle post seems to go down below the others. Is that indicating that then that post would reach into the tributary and actually need to be staked in there?
So the plan is just, it would be just lay across. I'm not sure why that has a lower, I do see that, a lower railing than the rest of them.
I can answer.
I mean, if they could find a rock to use as a central support, that'd be nice, but I don't believe it would need it. It would be similar to some of the other bridges that have already been built. It'd just be a simple
I can
stringer.
answer that for you.
Okay.
Yep.
That is block. The drawing shows blocking. On each end, you will have backboards and service blocking to hold the stringers in place. And in the center, there is blocking to keep the stringers from folding. It's just like the floors of your house. You have blocking to keep the rafters in the house square. It's not intended to go down the bank. The stringers will be 12 inches, what we've been using, and the span for a 12-inch will go to 16, 18 foot. So a 10-foot span is well within the 12-inch stringer cord. That is strictly to hold the stringer square when you do it. So it's there's nothing to go down into the stream. There's no requirement to. No stream foundation, no perturbance or environmental impact.
Yeah, looks like that's just a cross piece behind the stringer board, not related to the railing support. I think it's just a little misleading in the drawing, that's all. But I see what you're doing.
Yeah.
Do you have any more questions or comments for this application?
Is this ordered from the same group as the other, or is this a separate group? The Swan Timber. Excuse me?
We just put them in as two separate applications because we didn't know about with the aluminum bridge, but this is a wooden bridge. This is a different type of bridge.
Yeah, this one's more akin to just like you have on the first crossing coming across Joe Clark Brook.
Yeah, and not even that elaborate. because I think that one is like two separate pieces. This is a simpler crossing.
All right, no further questions or comments. We're looking for a motion to approve or disapprove. And bear in mind, we did amend the detailed description.
So let me give this a try, Justin. I move that application 21-12 AR does not require a permit and as such is determined to be a use of right.
Right. Motion by Ms. Thompson.
Second, if Dan doesn't want to second, I'll second it.
I'll second it. Sorry, took a moment.
It's okay.
All right. Say second by Mr. Peeler. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right. Motion passes. All right. Thank you, Mr. Johnson, and all the members from the Tri-Town Trail Commission.
Thank you guys for your time. Appreciate it.
Right. Moving along. Wetlands official report. Mr. Fleece.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So I actually don't have a written report this month. I had nothing new to report. Aside from working with the applicant on the application we approved tonight, no other really wetlands business going on. I will comment now, and maybe this should go under correspondence. Our July meeting, though, it is scheduled for July 6th. However, we were unaware that town hall is closed that day for a floating holiday per the mayor. So we're looking to hold a special meeting the following week, July 13th, pending if we have any new business. I believe as of tonight, we do not have any current new business that would need to be tabled to next month. But if we do receive any new applications, we can hold a special meeting on the 13th.
All right, and you'll make sure all those notices go out to the state.
Correct.
Thank you. Correspondence. Any further correspondence? Ms. Dobson, is there any more?
No, there was nothing.
All right, thank you. Announcements. Do we have any announcements?
No.
No. All right, moving on to minutes approval. We have, excuse me. Sorry, my dog was trying to eat dinner. My dinner. All right, so minutes approval. We have minutes from our last regular meeting of 4th of May. Everyone's had the opportunity to review them. If there are any questions, comments, amendments that need to be made. And if none, looking for a motion to approve or disapprove, or approve as amended.
I move to approve the minutes as is.
Motion by Mr. Peeler. Have a second?
Second.
Who was that?
Hey, Corey.
It's Corey.
Right,
Yeah.
Mr. Washburn, you are an alternate member, so I need
It's me
regular
too.
member
I'm
to
in the
second
back.
I'll approve. I'll second it.
second
For
by Mr.
Corey.
Moga. Thank- All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Minutes are approved. Thank you. All right, move on to meeting review section. My apologies. My laptop there wasn't plugged in and it logged me out. So my apologies for that delay. Other than that, I think everything went out with all the right notices. We had a quorum. And I saw a notice from the town that we can move back to in-person meetings also. Is that correct, Mr. Police?
That is correct. Currently, we're trying to set up for hybrid meetings. That way, if members of the commission or the public don't feel comfortable in person, we can still have the Zoom option. That is still in the works, though. We need to make sure we have the right equipment set up to do that efficiently.
Okay.
Just as a matter of information, WPCA is staying virtual.
All right. How do you all feel here with the Wetlands Commission between staying virtual and going back to in person?
I personally like the virtual meetings. It allows you to do multiple things, and instead of 40 minutes down, 40 minutes back, and by the time you get back in the middle of the winter, it's icy, snowy, and that sort of thing. Now in the summertime, this certainly gives me a chance to get some things done, and that extra 40 minutes here and 40 minutes there is helpful. It's very busy right now on the farm.
Anyone else have any input?
What are the options for doing a hybrid model?
So if we are in person, it will be a hybrid model.
So in that case, I think that helps take care of part of the concern there.
So if we do stay with Zoom, I'd like to see if we could do something to speed up the responses. Things seem to be moving very slowly tonight. And I don't know how to make that happen, except maybe Justin, for you to volunteer us and say, Marie, would you like to make a motion? Or Tony, are you up for a motion?
I can do that.
Well, the other people have to agree that they could be volunteered.
No problem with that.
All right. Yeah, I say.
Sure.
Also, don't be shy. We're all good people here. So I don't think anyone's going to be offended if you make the motion before they do. But I'll make more effort there, Ms. Thompson, to push that along to avoid those prolonged periods of silence. All right. So with the hybrid, Ms. Felice, we do the hybrid meetings. That means if we're for the members here on the commission, they can participate virtually if necessary. It's not just for the public.
And again, it's still new for everyone. I'm trying to work with some other commissions and see how they're doing it. But it's my understanding that you can have the option to go in person or attend via Zoom. And again, we'll have to have the technology set up so we can communicate, efficiently, whether you're in person or on Zoom.
Okay. Yeah. Once you have, we're probably not the first commission to meet with this setup. You had any
Right.
input?
Yeah. It's new for everyone. We're still kind of, a learning curve, trying to figure out how to do it. But we should have it squared away, I would think, for next month and know what we're actually doing.
Okay. Yeah. You got it all set up and you got the way it's going to work. Just do a favor and just let us know. Send an email.
Yeah, we'll definitely send out an email either way. Again, if we have a meeting next month, and then we'll have more time for August if needed.
All right. Appreciate that. Thank you. All right, and the last item here is adjournment. We're looking for motion to adjourn.
I so move.
All right, motion by Mr. Peeler. Looking for a second? Ms. Thompson, would you like a second?
Yes.
All right, second by Ms.
Oh,
Thompson.
wait. Scott Johnson to everyone. I believe there is still an executive order in something.
Oh.
In place
Yeah, just
requiring
for the-
Zoom participation if meeting in person.
Or remote, that shouldn't say Zoom.
Yeah, so we still will. That's again the hybrid. Even if we are going to meet in person, we're going to have the option for the Zoom still as well as of right now.
Okay. Sorry to call the sudden pause
Nope,
there.
thanks for
I just
calling.
saw
Thanks for
something
calling
pop
that
up. So
All right, so we have a motion in place to adjourn our meeting now. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, all in favor. Meeting is adjourned. Time 7:43. Thank you everyone for coming tonight.
Thank you, folks.
Thanks, folks.
Bye.